Welcome, ASVAB party people, to another episode in my Grammar Hero series. In today's video, my goal isn't to convince you to sign up for some paid bootcamp for the ASVAB. Rather, I created this video so I can share with you one of the best free resources you can use to study for the word knowledge subtest of the ASVAB. And as it happens, that website is called vocabtest.com. I'll go ahead and put a link to this website in the description of this video. All right, so now that we know about this resource, let's take a few minutes to discuss why it's such a great resource. And more importantly, let's look at how we can use it to improve our score on the word knowledge subtest of the ASVAB. So the reason this website is such a great resource is because it breaks down vocabulary knowledge by grade level. Again, the ASVAB at its very core is a test of what you should have learned between middle school and high school. So if you use this website to study for the ASVAB, you can start in 6th grade and work your way through 7th, 8th, 9th grade, 10th, 11th, 12th, and then even AP Senior. If you diligently work your way through all these different grade levels, I almost guarantee that your score on the word knowledge subtest of the ASVAB will improve significantly. And what's more, for each of these grade levels, there are 300 vocabulary words. Since there are 8 grade levels, this website has a list of 2,400 vocabulary words. Now that I've mentioned that, let's take a look inside each of these grade levels, and while we do that, I'm going to make some recommendations as to what you should focus on. So again, we're starting at 6th grade, and we can see that each grade level is broken down into 15 units, which means that each unit has 20 vocabulary words. So you want to work your way through these one by one. So we'll start with Unit 1. And once we're in here, we can see that those 20 vocabulary words show up on the left. And since the ASVAB really only tests your ability to identify synonyms and antonyms, here's what I recommend. I recommend you take a synonym practice test, you take an antonym practice test, you work on vocabulary sentences, and then you work on learning definitions. As you work your way through these practice tests, you want to keep a list of any words with which you struggled. And more specifically, you want to take that word, write it down in your own notebook, define it, and then write a sentence using that word. If you do that for 6th grade through 12th grade, you'll have created a list of words with which you struggled and that you should really focus your efforts on learning. All right, and that's all there is to it. All right, so that's pretty much it for today's video. Again, I strongly encourage you to work from 6th grade through AP Senior. And if you do so diligently enough, you should expect to have very good results on the word knowledge subtest of the ASVAB. Before I end this video, let me just say this one more time. Stop paying for access to these ASVAB tutoring boot camps. 99% of you do not need that to pass the ASVAB. The 1% of you who struggle with basic math, you really need to contact a local tutor and have face-to-face tutoring in order to, number one, understand the ASVAB test, and number two, have that tutor identify where you're making mistakes, especially in regard to math. So that virtual tutoring and those online boot camps, in my opinion, they don't cut the mustard. I recommend, if you need tutoring, you get a face-to-face tutor. All right, with that said, I hope you like this video. If you like the content I'm creating, please consider subscribing to my channel. As always, you're more than welcome to leave feedback in the comment section below. But on that note, I'm going to go ahead and cut you loose. Konnichiwa.